Welcome back to NT Coins World, the place where we dive deep into the fascinating world of coins. If you're a coin enthusiast or just someone curious about valuable collectibles, you're in the right spot. Today, we're going to explore two fascinating Lincoln cents, the 1978 Lincoln cent and the 1984 D Lincoln cent. These two coins may not seem like the most obvious choices for high value, but wait until you hear about their rich history, unique features, and the exciting potential they hold. Grab your magnifying glass and let's dive in. Our first coin on the docket is the 1978 Lincoln cent, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but when you understand its background, errors, and market dynamics, it reveals much more than meets the eye. This cent is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which has been in circulation for decades since its inception in 1909. The 1978 Lincoln cent, however, is notable for several reasons, including its mintage, the state of the economy during its release, and the potential for errors that make it more valuable than its face value. Released by the US Mint in 1978, this coin was minted in both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, though the majority of the mintage came from the Denver Mint. The total mintage for the 1978 Lincoln cent reached a staggering 6.1 billion coins, making it one of the higher mintage years for the series. Given the immense quantity of these coins, you might think it would be hard to find one that holds significant value. But like many coins, it's all about condition and rarity. Coins like this one in fine condition aren't the rarest of the bunch, but their value can still be higher than you'd expect. Typically, a 1978 Lincoln cent in fine condition, where the details on Lincoln's portrait and the memorial are clear but slightly worn, can be found for anywhere between 10 cents to 25 cents. Not a huge sum, but it's a start for those looking to build a collection on a budget. However, the real intrigue with the 1978 Lincoln cent lies in the errors and varieties that appear in its mintage. Let's talk about some notable errors. One of the most sought-after mistakes in this series is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die that strikes the coin has been misaligned during the minting process, causing multiple impressions to appear. The double die obverse error is incredibly valuable, with specimens fetching upwards of $1,000 to $2,000 depending on their condition. These types of errors make the 1978 Lincoln cent stand out from the crowd. In addition to the double die obverse, there are also several other rare varieties, such as minor die cracks and unusual striking errors. These too can push the value of the coin higher, with some selling for as much as $50 to $70. The presence of these imperfections might be small, but for collectors who are looking for something a little extra in their coins, it can make all the difference. Another key aspect of the 1978 Lincoln cent is its place in history. During this time, the US was coming out of the turbulent 1970s, a decade marked by high inflation, a recession, and a shift in the American economy. The US Mint had been adjusting its designs and processes in response to rising copper prices and public demand for more affordable coins. The 1978 Lincoln cent was struck in a mix of copper and zinc, and this formula was typical of many coins produced in the late 1970s. While these cents aren't made from the high-purity copper of earlier years, they still hold historical significance for collectors who appreciate the transitions in minting during this period. In fine condition, while the 1978 Lincoln cent may not fetch the highest of prices, there are opportunities for those who know where to look for varieties, errors, and other nuances. A well-preserved piece with no visible damage or wear can often be worth more than its typical range, especially when graded and certified by a professional coin grading service. Next up, we're taking a look at the 1984 D Lincoln cent, another coin that holds its own in the world of collectible cents. Struck in 1984 by the Denver Mint, this coin was released during a time of economic stability in the United States. The total mintage of the 1984 D Lincoln cent was around 7 billion, making it one of the most common Lincoln cents ever minted. So, what makes this cent interesting, and why does it deserve our attention today? First, let's talk about the condition. A 1984-D Lincoln cent in fine condition typically shows some wear and tear. The Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse and Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse may appear slightly worn, with the fine details still visible but no longer sharp. Coins in this condition typically fetch a price between 10 cents and 25 cents, similar to the 1978 cent. At first glance, this may seem like a coin you could find easily in your pocket change, but hold on, the story doesn't end there. The 1984 D. Lincoln cent is particularly interesting because it's home to one of the most famous errors in modern US coinage, the 1984 D over D variety. This variety occurred when a die with the D mint mark was used to strike coins after the original mint mark was partially worn away or erased. As a result, the D mint mark was overstruck with a second D, making it appear like a doubling of the letter. This error is highly sought after by collectors, with coins in high grades fetching anywhere from $500 to $1,000 depending on the condition and the clarity of the overstrike. Such varieties make the 1984 D. Lincoln cent a bit more exciting for those who are looking for rare and valuable coins. In fact, the 1984 D over D error is one of the most well-known and recognized errors in the Lincoln cent series, which has led to its high demand. If you find one of these coins in your collection, or even in your change, make sure to examine the mint mark closely. Now let's talk about the broader historical context. The 1984 Lincoln cent, like other coins from the era, was struck in the midst of the early 1980s economic boom. The US was recovering from the recessions of the previous decade, and inflation was under control, which led to a more stable economy. The Lincoln memorial design continued to represent the nation's history, and the coin itself served as a reminder of the past while also signaling the country's bright future. During this time, the mint was also experimenting with new technologies and processes, which led to some errors, such as the famous 1984 D over D variety, seem fairly standard in fine condition. It can still offer valuable opportunities for collectors looking for rarer examples, especially in the case of varieties or errors like the double mint mark. Those who have an eye for detail and a passion for hunting for mistakes in minting can find real treasures in these otherwise common coins. So whether you're hunting for those elusive error coins or simply collecting standard issues, the 1978 and 1984 D. Lincoln cents offer a wealth of opportunities for discovery. From the common to the rare to the downright unusual, these coins have a story to tell that goes beyond their face value. Whether it's the double die obverse of the 1978 cent or the famous D over D error in the 1984 D, these coins can fetch impressive prices in the right conditions. Thanks for tuning in to this detailed look at the 1978 and 1984 D. Lincoln cents here on NT Coins World. If you enjoyed this deep dive into US coinage, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. As always, keep searching for treasures and happy collecting.